All right, I want to say Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who teaches truth and do real well. And salutations to you, Akim, pushing his word with truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Sha'ad Gabar Karash, going to a quick lesson. I'll be edifying. And this lesson is going to be along the lines of, being delivered from the chariot, being delivered by the chariots, all right, from the destruction that's prophesied to come to Babylon, because that's a major question people want to know coming into this truth. When they know here's prophesying about the destruction of Babylon, the nuclear missiles that's going to be shot off into the ends of the earth, people want to know how we're going to be delivered, all right? And we always tell them, look, we're going to be delivered by the chariots, man. But that's a question that, somebody even asked me on my comment board a few weeks ago, asked me, should they flee from Babylon? No, because you're not going to be able to escape the destruction. Leaving Babylon is not going to do you no good, because you're going to have nuclear missiles going to get shot off throughout, different places in the earth. All right, the whole world will not be destroyed, but Babylon will be destroyed. And the answer to escape the nuclear destruction is not fleeing. All right, it's actually we have to be delivered. That's the whole point of salvation. And I'm just start off and get straight to the point. This is Ezekiel 36 and 24 says, "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land." All right, so this is the Lord that's going to, because he prophesied to scatter us, we were scattered amongst all nations. So the Lord is going to deliver us from amongst all nations. All right, and we're actually going to be, the elect is going to be exempt from that ultimate plague, man, which is going to be the nuclear missiles, man, because what? The Lord is you're going to get beamed up on them, what Esau calls UFOs, but they're the vehicles of the angels, man, the Most High, chariots. We're going to get beamed up on those. Abaratazah be of that number, all right? But yeah, we're going to be, that's how we're going to escape the destruction that's prophesied to happen here in Babylon. Because when you go to, matter of fact, let me get the blue letter. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. I started 16. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangels, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first." All right, so we know Yahweh, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, which his true name is Yahweh Shah. When he make his second coming, we know that he's coming back in the chariots, man. All right, he's coming back the same way he left. He was beamed up into a chariot, and that's the same way he's coming back. It's plenty of examples of different men. Well, you got Elijah, which was actually beamed up into a chariot. You had Yahweh Shah, which was beamed up in a chariot. Once he after he was crucified, and he appeared to the disciples. All right, then once he left, he was beamed up into a chariot, man. All right, and that's the same way he's going to come back, and the same way the Lord delivered us from out of Egypt, guided us by chariot, man. All right, the same way we're gonna get delivered out of this destruction here in Babylon. All right, verse 17, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17, it says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord," man. Right, so that's gonna be beautiful, to be called up into the clouds, man. All right, because if we get called, it's this is something spiritual that's gonna happen, man. All right, in literal, because it's not like Yahweh Shah is gonna say, "Hey, come up here, and we gonna build a stairway or a ladder unto the clouds. No, man, we're gonna be beamed up. All right. It says we're gonna be called up to the clouds, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, man. All right. So we're gonna be with the Lord, and we're gonna before we can enter on the chariots, we got to get the new bodies. Because remember the scriptures say, man, our bodies should be changed within a twinkling of an eye. Just as quick as you can blink, we gonna get those new bodies, man. All right. Because what? But why are we gonna get beamed up? Because the destruction that's all gonna hit Babylon. We have to. That's the way we're gonna, escape it. I don't know if it's gonna be right before or it's gonna be simultaneously, but it's going. The scriptures say, look, we should scarcely be saved. All right, and I get that precept, but it says we should scarcely be saved. So we know when the destruction comes, is our deliverance is going to be simultaneously with the destruction. That's why when we, brothers get excited when we see things happening in prophecy in the news concerning World War III, these different countries with their nuclear capability, we know it's prophecy, all right? And when we see it, we know our redemption, our salvation is not at hand, all right? This is Revelations 11 and 12. It says, and they heard a voice, a great voice from heaven saying, come, saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended unto heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Right. Because same thing we just read in Thessalonians, man. We getting caught up into a cloud. Right. It gets a little bit more in detail when you read Revelations 11 and 12. It says they ascended up to heaven, man. Right. So we gonna get basically beamed up. You know how you see on the movies, where Esau puts it in his movies on a big screen, where you see aliens beaming people up from so-called UFOs, which we know he gets that from the scriptures because it's really chariots, man. All right, and it's an example how the elect is gonna be delivered, man. How we gonna leave here in style from Babylon? All right, because what? From that destruction that's gonna happen. All right, so let's read this again. Verse 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Right, because the scriptures tell us in Revelations 18 that this is, rise and depart, for this is not our rest, that we be not partakers of our sins, flee from Babylon. All right, it's not talking about literal flee. It's talking spiritually. Come up out of her, my people. All right, so we don't be partakers of her sins. All right, and receive none of her plagues. Which some of them plagues are going to be, like I said, famine. You're gonna have Esau and his martial law troops looking to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. He's going to be looking to chip people up. He's going to be looking to persecute the men of the Lord and the prophets. So, hey, we gonna be protected. Hey, I brought this out. We be, I'll be of that number of those men that be protected from these things. All right. And it says, ascended into, so like I read this again, verse 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. In the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven. Right, and that remnant is going to be the elect. All right, the elect in the 1/3 is going to be delivered up on these chariots, man. All right, and like I said, some people, well, a lot of when that time happened, hey, to witness something like that, you are gonna be frightened, man. To see something like that, man, to see that destruction, it's gonna be a bittersweet. You know what I mean? Because you are gonna be frightened, but at the same time, you're gonna be giving glory to the Most High, because you're like, man, that could have been me down in there in that destruction, and then you're gonna that's when you're gonna know that you are the elect. All right, when you actually make it up on a chariot, and that's gonna overwhelm you. That's gonna bring joy to you, man. Because brothers been waiting to get out of here so long. Brothers been doing the work and laboring, and doing their best to serve you. How about Shem Yahushua? To actually get delivered is gonna be, hey man, you're gonna be emotional, man. It's gonna be a good cry, man, a joyful cry. All right, because what we finally gonna be delivered up out of this place, all right, and saved from the destruction. Because when you go to let's go to Isaiah. We go to Isaiah 20, I believe it's 26 and 20. Yep, Isaiah 26 and 20, it says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers." All right, and the chambers is going into the chariots, man, about the chariots. All right, and it says, "And shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed," man. Right, because look, we gonna have to, that destruction, man. Hey, we gonna see that destruction, man. We gonna be glad to be in them chariots, man. So we gonna have to be beamed up into the chariots to, because we gonna be, the chariot gonna be hovering over the destruction. We gonna see it, man. All right, so we gonna have to, it says as if it was for a moment, man. Because why? Once we, the destruction passed, man, we gonna come back out of the chariots. All right, and we gonna take the elites that's gonna be hiding in the bunkers and in the cliffs of the rocks, like the scriptures say, and they going into captivity. They going into slavery. All right, but we gonna witness the destruction, and John saw that, man. All right, John the Revelator actually saw the destruction that the scriptures speak about. Because when you read Revelations 15, let's start at 1. It says, "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire," right? Because basically it's like a glass floor, man. You're gonna be, be able to look straight through the floor of the chariot, man, and witness the destruction. That's why John said it was like a glass mingled with fire. Because the chariot basically probably, is probably gonna be hovering right over the destruction, man. All right, and it's gonna have a good view. We gonna have a good view, like, man, look. Because the scriptures say, man, we should see the downfall of our enemies, man, and be joyful, man, to see the destruction of Babylon, man. All right. And it says, "A sea mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over the image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having harps of Yahweh." Man, so that's talking about the elect, because only the elect is going to be able to overcome the beast and the image of the beast, man, and not worship the image of the beast. All right, that's only going to be the elect. That's not going to take the RFID chip, man. That's not going to be idol worshiping. Not going to be in agreement with Esau, voting. All these different things, man. All these different restrictions that Esau put on our people, and they just fall on them, man. These different religions that he give them, the elect is not going to fall for none of that, man. All right, the scriptures say, man, look, you will never be able to pluck the elect out of the hand of the Most High, man. All right, so look, we gonna be saved from this destruction. Hey, large will I be of that number, man. All right, and the brothers that's laboring, to witness this destruction, but you have to be of that number. Matter of fact, let's go to let's get that in Ezekiel. All right, Ezekiel 9 verse 4. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." Right, so the Lord is gonna have an angel set marks and mark those men that sign and crying for all the abominations that be done. And how are when it says sign and cry, what is it saying to? Basically to speak against these things, man. Like we're doing. Like the men of the Lord you see out there teaching and prophesying and speaking against this place. All right, those are the men that the angels are gonna set a mark on. Like, look, man, this brother's gonna be exempt because look, he's speaking out against this stuff. He's signing crime. He's putting his life on the line to seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. All right. So, hey, you're gonna be exempt if you're a man of the Lord. You're gonna be exempt from that ultimate destruction of them thermonuclear missiles. All right. Verse 5. It says, "And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity." So look, man. Hey, on it's gonna be a flip side to it. On this side, you have men that's being marked to be exempt from judgment. Then you're gonna have men marked over on this side that's gonna be marked to be destroyed. All right, so it's a beautiful thing. That's why brothers don't worry about all the things that's happening in the earth, man. Brother did a good video the other day. He said, "Look, man, it's not our job to worry, man. The Lord didn't give us the spirit to worry, man. That's why brothers, hey, man, you gotta look, knowing this truth, man. Don't start worrying because that's really a lack of faith. You start worrying about, do we flee, or what's gonna go on, or Esau's about to come down with his great wrath. Look, man, we ain't worried about that, man. We all only thing we know, man, we prophesying until we get delivered, man. We serving Yahweh Shah until further notice, man. So brothers have faith and don't be worrying about things that's out of your control, man. You just gotta have faith, all right. And the elect will have that faith, all right. And ultimately, you're gonna be marked to be exempt from judgment, all right. And you're gonna be delivered. And when you go to Revelations, let's go to Revelation 7. All right, it says, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And what's that wind, man? That destruction. All right, you got angels holding back the destruction. All right, and why are they holding back the destruction? From all hell breaking loose. Because verse 2 explains it. It says, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea." All right. So you got, like I said, with the scriptures say, there be spirits created for vengeance, man. The spirits that just, the angels that just appease the Most High. The Most High give them a mission to say, look, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a mission to work on the minds of the people and of the kings of the earth to destroy one another with them nuclear missiles. All right, but hold on. I don't want y'all to let all hell break loose into what? I seal my servants. Verse 3 it says, saying, here's the point. It says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. All right, so that's the point. No destruction ain't gonna break loose, and all hell ain't gonna break loose until the elect is sealed, man. All right, to everybody that was according to election to wake up and get this truth, receive it, man, and then all hell is gonna break loose, man. So that's why I always tell brothers, man, look, until otherwise, man, we got work to do, man. We see the prophecies happening, pandemics and the plague, coronavirus. We know that's a plague from Yahweh Shah. Esau, is getting ready to come down with his chip. He's trying to vaccinate people. All these are plagues, man. We know we on the brink of race wars. This whole election all hell can break loose from that. All right. And we know these are, labor pains in the earth, is leading all the way up to a climax where we're gonna be delivered. And look, don't get worried, all bugged out, behind the things that happen, because what, you gotta have that faith. We gonna be okay, man. The scriptures tell you, man, the elect is gonna be exempt from these plagues that's gonna happen on earth. All right. Matter of fact, and let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 91 and 6. It says, well, let's start at 5. It says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fly by day." Man, going into these plagues and that ultimate plague of them thermonuclear missiles. All right, we're not to be afraid, man. All right. Verse 6, it says, "Nor the pestilence," all right, which is going into these different diseases. Coronavirus is just one of the many plagues of diseases that's going to happen here in the last days. All right, you're going to have other plagues. All right. And it says, other pestilence, Salakia. It says, "Nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor the destruction that wasteth at noonday." All right, going into the thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, World War III. Verse 7, here's a point. It says, "1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand." Right, and what have you been seeing with coronavirus, man? You got thousands of people dying every day from coronavirus. All right, you got people dropping dead all around the world, but look, it's not gonna come nigh unto the men that has that spiritual mark, man. All right, to be protected. And it says, "But it should not come nigh. It should not come nigh thee." And that's the only thing we can do. We can just have that faith, man. Hey, it should be a faith booster that the Lord has been protecting us thus far, all the way up until this point. So it's just like that should be more fuel in your tank to keep going. To be like, look, okay, we're going to be all right, man. And, the Lord has protected me up until this point. He protected us even when we was in the world. If you look back and you can receive things spiritually, the things that you went through, man, the Lord delivered you from those things. The same way He's going to deliver us in these things to come. All right, from the destruction, from the famine, from the race wars. All right, from the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, man. Esau trying to vaccinate you, looking to persecute you and kill the men of the Lord. Hey, we gonna be protected from those things, man. Even if some of us, we go through some things or some tribulation, afflictions, or even death, hey, never lose the faith, because the scriptures say, "Through much tribulation shall we enter in through the kingdom." All right. So that's why it says, hey, the righteous gonna scarcely be saved. Matter of fact, let me get that precept, because I wanted to look at that word scarcely. All right. This is 1 Peter 4 and 18. It says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" All right, meaning the ungodly and the sinner going to obviously be destroyed. All right, but it's going to be a close call, man. Close call. Simultaneously, man. As soon as you see the destruction, all right, we might be getting beamed up right before the destruction hits you, man. Let's get this word scarcely, because I want to look into it. And it says,
Strong's G 3433, Molly's.
All right, Molly's. And it says, "With difficulty, hardly, not easy, scarcely, very rarely." All right, so it's going to be dim. It's going to look like you're not going to be delivered, but you are going to be delivered. Because that's why, brothers, that's why the Lord said, look, He did not give us a spirit of fear. Brothers got to overcome that fear, because it's kind of like being in a haunted house. All right, some jump out at you, and people get all shook up. And man, you got to learn to be disciplined And it's gonna be the same way in the times that we enter into, man, because we're gonna see some things, and a lot of people gonna lose faith, but sometimes hey man, the Lord ain't give us a spirit of fear. Even when we see the destruction coming, we see nukes in the air, shot off back to land. All right, we gotta have that faith. We gotta have that faith. You know, hey, the only person we supposed to fear is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, but hey, it's easier said than done. But it gives you the mindset of what we should be striving to be in that mindset. All right. But with that, I'm going to close out, give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who teaches truth and rule well. And salutations to you, Aki, on pushing this word with truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.